Okay, so let's move on with what happened in the company of this guy, Rauhi. Yesterday I punished him. I decided not to give his name to a new chapter. It's too much to have two. But on the other hand, he was, if not a friend, as the definition will have it, a companion. We went together to some things. One in Petroshan would be if not a landmark, it has a place there. And speaking of friends, Thomas Mann has this short story in which one character says, I'm horrified by those who keep saying around me, we are such good friends, there's no word to describe that, or our love, there are no words to describe it. And he says, no, that's wrong. Love, friendship, you don't see that in real life. Friends, teach me mathematics and we'll be friends. But then when you come and ask me a favor, I'll just take some money from you. I'll just use the mathematics I've learned to cheat you. Which is basically my feeling of what this guy did at the end. So friends, no. Enemies, not enemies, but anyway, there were some outings until they decided that they don't have that much money to send students throughout the country, and more importantly, Ceausescu, the dictator, decided he has other priorities. He wants the agrarian revolution, and he doesn't want people to do anything in the fields, including geologists, geophysicists. So easy does it with practice from one point on. But for the first few years, we went to Baia Mare first to see rocks, minerals, to learn what rhodochrosite is, what travertine is, whatever. And so we had teachers with us, and they would take a rock and say, you see this, and this is this pink thing is, here is rhodochrosite, this is whatever. I forgot almost anything I've learned there because I didn't use the expertise in the fields for one day. I mean, I changed profession, so to say, as soon as before I graduated. I only graduated to get a diploma, and we'll get to that. Decided it's better to stay with the university for some time, because if I were to finish in time quickly, they would send me someplace, let's say Moldova, and I would have to go. And I would have to go. Okay, and that wasn't attractive. That would have been a dead end. One way this life could have worked out. One scenario is this: graduated in 5 years, not in 8 like I did. Sent to, let's say, a place near Botoșani. Ce? Ia vezi. And then marry a local woman, get excessively fat, both of us, drink tsuika, some alcohol made on the farm, and we have a farm there or something, and become an alcoholic or something, and die at the age of 42 from cirrhosis, from whatever. Boredom, tedium vitae, like it is. It's so splendid. I have a huge audience. I'm very popular, successful, appreciated at home. Come to think of it, this scenario number 2, the real one, didn't work out so much better. Anyway, returning to this period, Baia Mare. In Petroșani I went with this guy around few times. Once in the high school there. It's not a confession for the large public or for the authorities to come and ask, what did you do 30 years ago? Did you have sex with minors? I'm not sure what the law said back then, but anyway, it didn't happen. I mean, I would have to wait another one full year. I think only 19 or 20 I was when I lost my virginity, and it wasn't Petrosyan. There were some approaches, there was some maybe kisses, some, what do you say, foreplay, but I didn't score, to use a vulgar term. This guy seemed to. As I said, if I knew mathematics, I was Einstein compared with a high school graduate with this guy. I mean, no, he was actually at the level of 10 years. A child of 10 years, so 11 with the algebra he knew. In other matters of sex or he was way ahead. I mean, he was married, and maybe he had already a son or something, and he was cheating his controller wife like crazy. Or at least he said. That's another thing. I mean, I wasn't really, as they say here, it was a joke with the candle. I wasn't holding the candle for him. It was a joke with John and Sir. There were many jokes, but this one I remember. Something like John is holding the candle for Sir when he's having sex. Bizarre, but that's the premise, what I remember of it. And he's not holding the candle right, so he's having John, the butler or whatever he is, majordomo, have sex with the wife and holding the candle, and the butler is doing a much better job. But the lord, aristocrat, takes the credit, saying, you see, you can do it. You see how well you can do it, because that's the way you to hold a candle. I wasn't holding the candle for this guy, so I don't know what. Now, actually, looking back at it, it was boasting, much of it. He was claiming to have done this, that, and the other, but probably he did much less. But he did something. He had the advantage mentioned in previous episodes. He had things to give which were not there for the rest of the world, for the rest of us. From coffee to stockings, from cigarettes to, I don't know, candies in the dollar shop. And maybe he had some charm. Let me not to the marriage of true minds admit impediments. Shakespeare. Diminish him. I mean, he had probably an exotic appeal. He had a naivete and innocence which surely attracted some. He didn't know much, remember, mathematics, and he looked so, oh, teach me. Okay. And in Petrosyan we went to see some people in there's a series of small towns there with mines and miners. And Petrila maybe, and there was this guy who had a ton of pornographic magazines and porn pictures all over the walls, and a lot of guests, women and men, and young and some attractive, and it was incredible. In this place in the middle of nowhere, and in a town with actually a bad reputation, later on in 1990, minors, and then years after that, would come down to Bucharest to club people, primitive barbarians, many of them, most of them, club people, some to death, and acted like cavemen. But then this guy was in an abode, in a flat which looked like, I don't know, Germany, in the section where the BDSM people stay, the community, and I was mesmerized, especially given the fact that I was still a virgin. And even after this thing, I had a chance to come again, but again told them maybe I move to him tomorrow, next episode. Took me for another trajectory. But if I were to return in Petrila, maybe as was planned on the next day or the day after that, I could have started then and there to know things about intimacy, get to know somebody in the biblical sense.